This is Edward Mungai with Edward Mungai Fitness. We are still on the 35-day countdown to Tokyo 2019 Marathon. This is day number 10, and yesterday on day number 9 we talked about the do's of a marathon. Today I'm so excited to tell you the don'ts of a marathon. And these are the things probably I have done. Actually, I've done many of them, but now I want to share with you the things that you should not do as you prepare, as you run for a marathon. Number one, I think, and most critical, is that you must be able to have trained. So please note, if you don't train, please don't show up. I have seen many people specifically going for Standard Chartered Marathon 10 kilometers without training. I tell you, it will be painful. So do not even think about going for a marathon. Do not think about going for 10K. Do not think about going for half marathon if you haven't prepared, if you haven't trained for it. So that's the don't number one. Don't just show up. Don't number two is about overtraining. Again, as you train, do not overtrain, because it will kill you. It will not be efficient. It has to be effective and efficient. So train appropriately. As I talked about the 14-day training program, please have your 14-day plan or 14-week plan, not day. You cannot do a marathon by training for 14 days. It has to be a 14-week plan, and if that is what it says, please do not put many miles. Put the miles as required by that plan. Talking about the don't number three is about hydration. Do not overhydrate or underhydrate. And this is more specifically during your training and also during the marathon. You just need to take enough water, because if you take more, it will be a problem. You will have to go to the washroom. And remember, washrooms are there in the track, in the running distance, but the problem is that it cuts on your time. So ensure that you have proper hydration and you have just enough, because otherwise, if you don't hydrate, again, your performance will not be at its best. Talking about number four is about the don't number four. Don't buy new shoes for a marathon. You should run a marathon with the shoes that you've been training on. The problem is that you might get injuries if you go with the new shoes. I've seen, or I have gone for an expo. An expo is the day before the marathon. There is normally where Nike, Asics, and those kind of nice brands, they come to show us what is the latest in their field. And chances are that you buy shoes there. Please do not use those shoes the next day to run your marathon. Talking about the don't number five is about your gadget and making sure that you have charged it, because there is nothing as worse as you have finished a marathon to realize that your watch already stopped at kilometer number 41 or kilometer number 37 when you do not have the full history. Remember, these gadgets are about giving you full history. It's about optimizing your performance, and it helps you to optimize. So make sure that your phone is properly charged before you go for the next marathon. Point number 6 is about alcohol. Well, as you prepare for marathon, as you prepare to run a marathon, ensure that 3 to about 7 days before the marathon, no alcohol, because this you will have to pay the price if you engage in alcohol. The best thing is that you stop drinking for that 1 week to the marathon, and that will obviously be able to help you to be able to hack the marathon. Point number 7 is please do not be adventurous in terms of what we eat. Now I'm going to Japan. For sure I can tell you I'm not going to try sushi, because if I do, well, it might mess me up during the race day. And therefore it is important that we ensure that you are not taking any new kind of food, any new thing that you are not used to. Do not even try as you run to use the gels that you haven't tried. Use something that you are familiar with, because the problem is that it might be a challenge to you. Point number 8 is about not making sure you don't forget about your brains. And I am serious, your brains, because to run 42 kilometers, it will call for you to have the focus. It calls for you to have the stamina to be able to go the distance. Now imagine in kilometer number 1 and you are thinking about the finish. Please do not think about the finish. Think about your next target, and this will help you to be able to be focused. Point number 9 is also not actually is actually cutting your race into pieces. Don't forget to cut it in pieces. Cut it into about 8 pieces, each of 5 kilometers. This is how I do it. I cut my 42 in 8 equal pieces of 5 kilometers each, and I use the 5 as the target. The moment I finish my first 5, I celebrate. Second 5, I celebrate. And this avoids the challenge of thinking about the 42 kilometers, because if you think about it at the beginning, I can almost assure you that you are not going to get there. You must be able also to run your own race. I've seen it, I've tried it, trying to chase people and trying to run in other people's time. Please run your race. As we say in life, you need to run your race. It is very applicable into a marathon. You have trained, you know the time that you require, stick to it. And remember, number 10, always make sure you run your own race. Do not run anybody else's race. And this is also a life principle where we say, please do not compare yourself with anybody. Run your own race, because when you run your own race, you'll be able to hack it. You have trained well, you have had a program, you have eaten well, you have hydrated properly. You just need to run as per your target. Because if you try to go over it, I tell you, you will to be knocked by the wall. You don't want to hit the wall in a marathon and where you can't be able to finish. Well, this is Edward Mungai with Edward Mungai Fitness. I still continue urging you, please continue commenting, continue asking your question, and continue sharing this video. And more importantly, for those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe for more inspiration. Edward Mungai with Edward Mungai Fitness.